Sometimes the best camera is not the biggest one, not the most expensive one, and not even the one with the most buttons. Sometimes the best camera is the one you actually bring with you everywhere. And that's exactly why this Osmo Nano caught my attention. Okay, in today's video, I'm going to unbox it, show you what comes in the box, talk about the design, the features and the real world use, and most importantly I'll show you the footage captured it outside so you can decide whether this tiny camera is actually worth your money. Alright, let's start with the unboxing. Straight away, the packaging gives that usual DJI style, clean, simple and premium. It already gives the impression that this is meant to be a compact but serious content creation tool, not just a toy camera. And what makes the Osmo Nano interesting on paper is that DJI is packing quite a lot into a very small body. It comes with a 1/1.3 inch sensor, shoots up to 4K at 60 frames per second and has a 143-degree wide field of view. It supports 10-bit color with D-Lock M, and it's designed with a lightweight magnetic system so you can mount it in more flexible ways. Okay, inside the box, the first thing that stands out is just how small this camera really is. On photos, it already looks tiny, but in person, it feels even smaller. And that's one of the biggest selling points here. The camera itself weighs just 52 grams. So this is clearly built for people who want something light, wearable and easy to carry. DJI also pairs it with the Vision Dock, which gives you a screen for live view, control and file transfer, and that dock weighs 72 grams. So overall, this is a very compact setup. Let's talk about the design. The design wise, this is where the Osmo Nano becomes different from a more traditional action camera. Instead of giving you a chunky GoPro style body, DJI has made this feel more like a tiny modular wearable camera. The magnetic design is a big deal because it opens up different shooting possibilities. You can think about chest level shots, body mounted POV, quick handheld clips and creative angles that would normally be more annoying to set up with a larger camera. So from a design perspective, the Osmo Nano feels like it was made for people who want convenience first. The whole point of this camera is speed, portability and getting the shot before the moment disappears. And honestly, first impression in the hand is good. It feels light but not cheap in a bad way. It feels like a camera that was intentionally designed to disappear into your workflow. That's actually the main appeal here. This is not the kind of camera you buy because you want the biggest rig. This is the camera you buy because you want to shoot more often. And for people doing YouTube, Reels, travel content, cycling, hiking, daily vlogs or simple lifestyle videos, that matters a lot, because a camera that's small and fast often captures more real moments than a camera that stays at home. And now in terms of setup, DJI says that the Osmo Nano needs to be activated through the DJI Mimo app before first use. Through the app, you can adjust settings, sync footage and manage the camera more easily. So this is definitely part of DJI's usual ecosystem approach, where the app becomes part of the overall user experience. Now let's talk about what really matters, and that is the footage quality. For such a tiny camera, the specs are honestly impressive. You're getting 4K up to 60 frames per second in standard video, and if you want a slow motion, it can go up to 4K 120 frames per second and even 1080p 240 frames per second. So on paper, it gives you a lot of flexibility for normal cinematic clips or more dramatic slow down shots. Looking at the footage, what I like most is that this camera feels made for movement. Whether you are walking, turning or filming on the go, it doesn't feel like a camera that wants to stay still. DJI includes Rocksteady 3.0 stabilization and horizon balancing. So the Osmo Nano is clearly designed to keep footage looking more controlled when you're moving around. And because it has that 143-degree wide field of view, the footage can feel more immersive, especially for outdoors, POV style content and travel moments. so you can get more of the scene without having to constantly think about framing. In good daylight, this is where I think the DJI Osmo Nano makes the strongest first impression. DJI is giving you a 1/1.3-inch sensor and a 10-bit color with the D-Log-M, which is a good sign if you want more flexibility in how your footage looks, especially in editing. So if you're someone who likes to color grade a little bit, or at least wants footage with a bit more room to work with, that's a nice advantage for a camera this size. One thing I think DJI really understands here is convenience. This camera is not trying to replace every camera you own. It's trying to become the easiest camera to use when you don't want to carry a big setup. That's why the size matters. That's why the magnetic design matters. That's why the wearable concept matters, because sometimes you don't want to take out a mirrorless camera. Sometimes you even using your phone feels annoying, and this kind of tiny camera can slip into those moments much more naturally. So battery life is another area where DJI seems to be aiming for practicality. Officially, the camera alone rated for up to 90 minutes, and with that vision dock attached, that can go up to 200 minutes under DJI's test conditions. For a camera this small, that's actually quite respectable, especially if you're using it for short form clips, daily shooting and casual travel recording. One thing to know though is that footage is primarily saved to the camera's built-in storage. Okay, now let's be honest, no camera is perfect, and the Osmo Nano also have a few limitations. First thing, this is still a tiny camera, so while daylight footage can look really good, low light performance is naturally where smaller cameras start to struggle more. What I can see is that the image is very good overall, especially with the D-Log 10-bit, but also noted that low light image quality and stabilization drop off noticeably. So this looks like a camera that performs best when there's a decent light. Another thing is focus. DJI says this is a fixed focus camera and subjects are clear from about 0.35 meters onward. So this is not the kind of camera where you expect advanced focus control or a more cinematic shallow depth look. It's a quick capture camera, not a mini cinema rig. Another practical feature is durability. The camera body is rated waterproof up to 10 meters, while the vision dock is IPX4 splash resistant. So the Osmo Nano is clearly designed for more active use, but it's still important to remember that the dock and the camera body are not rated the same way. Okay, so would I recommend it? Okay, I would say yes. If you want a camera that is easy to carry, quick to use, and an ideal for casual content creation, POV clips, travel moments, lifestyle videos and everyday shooting. But if your priority is the absolute best low light performance, deeper manual control, or a more all-in-one professional setup, then this probably should not be your only camera. So for me, the strength of the Osmo Nano is simple. It makes recording easier, and when camera makes recording easier, you usually end up capturing more moments, and honestly that might be the biggest win of all. So that's my look on the DJI Osmo Nano. Let me know in the comments what you think about the footage and whether you would actually choose this over a phone, an action camera, or something bigger for daily content creation. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.